Donald agrees to your terms for the White House card.
You know, I'm not negotiating with the UFC on behalf of myself for this fight, like usual. I'm negotiating with the United States of America on behalf of Ireland for this fight. So it's a peculiar one. But Trump and the administration have been fully supportive and backing, and I cannot wait
Should John
to put on.
You're like the girlfriend man that just keeps going back every single time. He's just a bad guy. He doesn't deserve you, but every time he calls, you think, you know what, maybe he's serious. Only you still believe Conor McGregor is coming back. He won't make it to the White House. This stark warning, delivered with brutal honesty, cuts through years of speculation. Is this the ultimate betrayal of fan loyalty, a final ruse from the sport's biggest star, or the desperate plea of those who see through the hype? The combat world is bracing for an answer, and the silence from one corner is deafening.
Definitely. So you don't see any world that, like, Conor comes back? I know there was, like, him on the billboards with Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if Conor's going to come back or not. You know, we've been talking about it for a while. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know, though.
Despite the swirling doubts and lack of a confirmed opponent, Conor McGregor is unleashing beast mode in training. He declares himself a strong rocket. His strikes missiles, even broken missiles. This intense, almost defiant preparation screams conviction. McGregor is grinding as if the White House fight is not just signed, but an unyielding destiny. Every move is calculated, every punch loaded, setting the stage for a moment he believes is unavoidable, regardless of who stands across from him. The stage is set, even if the cast is incomplete.
I know there's, like, all the talk of Michael Chandler and Conor. Do you see, like, that as, like, a realistic thing happening?
No, I mean, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, so that's not nothing you'd entertain for the
No.
White House.
No.
And I saw recently, too, that Joe Rogan was saying that you should just have Alex fight John Jones at the White House. Is that something you feel like?
At 205?
I mean, yeah, I guess. Or
Yeah, I mean, that would be a fight, but can I count on John Jones?
yeah.
Can't have John Jones doing something.
The stakes couldn't be higher, as McGregor himself shockingly revealed he's not negotiating with the UFC for this fight, like usual. Instead, he claims he's negotiating with the United States of America on behalf of Ireland. This unprecedented declaration, backed by statements that Trump and the administration are fully supportive, transforms the event from a mere sporting spectacle into a geopolitical statement. It's a peculiar, almost surreal twist that elevates this potential comeback far beyond any fight in history, promising a clash of nations as much as of fighters.
If, like, let's say John Jones comes back, he fights Johnson Almeida. He was like, you know what? I want to be on the White House card. What do I got to do? They're like, okay, you fight the winner of Volkov versus Johnson Almeida. Bet. And then he beats Johnson Almeida. And then it's okay, perfect. You're going to fight the winner of XYZ on the White House. Perfect. I'm all for it. But I just don't like when somebody's iced, sitting there chilling. They get to pick and choose what they do. Maybe they earn that right. I have no idea. Right? But for me, I want to see guys who are putting the fucking, rubber to the pavement. Whether in all the accomplishment John Jones has done, it's amazing. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that if we got guys who are on the roster who are fucking fighting their asses off, they should have the first dibs to get on the White House. Even for Conor, we don't need his ass on the White House, right? But I know him and Donald Trump, they got some good things going. But I just don't want to see other athletes miss out on an opportunity that are.
While McGregor exudes unshakable confidence, UFC President Dana White publicly downplays the White House card with avoidant responses and shrugs. He acts as though the entire concept is still in the air, despite all signs pointing to its inevitable formalization. This calculated hesitancy, a conscious pause rather than incredulity, appears purposeful. White's guarded answers amplify the noise, turning what could be a clear path into a labyrinth of anticipation, leaving fans to wonder if this is strategic brilliance or genuine reservation about the monumental event unfolding.
Do you turn to Michael Chandler? It's very hard for me to believe that Conor McGregor is going to return and that anybody else get that opportunity. I feel if we're going by what the right thing to do, and we don't have to do that, by the way. The right thing to do has got 20 different answers, not to mention what difference does it make, right? I mean, these aren't children where you're trying to do it right in Little League and everybody gets a turn to bat. It's not like that. But if it was, I think it would have to be Chandler, or at least Chandler would have to sure be considered. And you're also going to have to take into consideration to some degree, like, we don't need Conor to win. We're not even expecting him to win. we're a little bit further. We acknowledge there's no way that Conor can win. And you're putting him in a beyond silly situation. We have never returned somebody after a 4-year break and put him in a 5-round atmosphere.
Dana White continues to throw cold water on potential matchups, specifically dismissing the long-rumored McGregor versus Michael Chandler bout. He labels it as belonging in the past, something that was a couple years ago and isn't a White House event. This direct refusal to entertain the fan-favorite matchup signals a clear shift in White's vision for this historic card. It suggests the White House stage demands something entirely new, a fight transcending previous narratives, and that past rivalries simply won't measure up to the magnitude of this unprecedented spectacle.
I don't know, Michael. The more we learn about, Conor's side of things here, I feel like this fight maybe not happening between you two there. It has less to do with you and probably more to do with him and his situation. Is that maybe, I don't know, making you more okay or digest this better to seem like he has a lot to figure out before he even gets back in the cage?
Yeah, never has anything to do with me, man. I'm the most reliable, most professional man in mixed martial arts, maybe in the history of mixed martial arts. So when I sign my name to a dotted line, I show up and do the work every single day. With that being said, there's still some hope there that maybe that fight happens. We shall see. But, we're having some conversations. And either way, I will be on the White House lawn.
White's caution extends beyond Chandler, touching on the complex issue of fighter reliability. When Jon Jones is suggested for the White House card, White's immediate concern surfaces. Can I count on Jon Jones? Yeah. Can't have Jon Jones doing something bad or pulling out of the... This blunt assessment highlights the immense pressure and flawless execution required for an event of this magnitude. White's fear of a last-minute cancellation or scandal casts a shadow over even the biggest names, underscoring the fragility of plans when dealing with unpredictable star power. Combat sports.
Out to hear anything, but Dana was very clear, like the matchmaking was going to start last week. Have you been involved in at least conversations since that point?
Conversations have been had, but we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out, Mike.
Yeah, and you're open to anyone. I feel like
yeah,
you just want to fight on that card.
Yeah, man. So we'll see.
And what would that mean? Would that be you've won some big fights? It doesn't matter who the guy is, but like, can you think of what that moment can be like? I mean, President Trump is out there saying all crazy things about 100,000 people. It's going to be insane and unique and one of a kind. Walking out from the Oval Office, can you even fathom and picture this moment yet?
Not really, man. It is historic, and it's a one-of-one type of event. It will never happen again. Could never happen again, probably. So, it's cool, man. It's a bright future. It's a really, really cool event. It's America's 250th anniversary, so I'm excited about that. So we'll get the matchup set. We'll sign a contract. We'll get our date set. I've already kind of started laying the foundation of a training camp, and I need to start laying the foundation of the visualization of what this thing's going to look like. Because the problem is we don't know what the heck it's going to look like. It's going to be a brand new venue.
In stark contrast to Dana White's guarded approach, Eric Trump is openly embracing the White House card, leaning into the idea of combat sports' biggest stars headlining. He speaks of McGregor's involvement as a natural outcome, and frames Jon Jones as the kind of fighter who would answer the call for such a symbolic moment. Coming from someone so close to the venue, these comments lend significant weight to the swirling speculation. It makes the prospect feel less like wishful thinking and more like an unstoppable wave of momentum, building in plain sight.
I think it's unfair to compare people to Conor McGregor. I really do. I don't think anybody will ever reach that level of stardom. But I believe if there isn't category that you could compare Ilya to Conor and it'd be just, it's the fact that he had all that hype and he's lived up to it. I don't know that he ever becomes a star Conor does, but I believe he has lived up to the hype and the expectation at a level that was thrust on him from the moment he got to the UFC, and he should be very proud of that.
Adding another layer of controversy, legendary fighter Demetrius Johnson isn't holding back, arguing for merit over hype. He contends that McGregor and Jones shouldn't automatically get a spot on the White House card, regardless of their fame. Johnson champions the fighters currently grinding every day and putting the ficking rubber to the pavement, asserting they deserve priority over stars picking and choosing their moments. It's a powerful call for fairness, reminding the world that even legends shouldn't skip the line when others are earning their place in the cage.
I do not believe that Conor makes it to the White House. Let's just live with that theory, though. Will Conor be able to manipulate the media even after he doesn't make it? He has pretended that he's coming back for 5 years. If the White House comes and goes,
Can he pretend, oh, I didn't come there, but you'll see me in November. You'll see me next January. Or will that be the final ruse of McGregor?
I think you are one of the few people that still believe Conor at times. You don't. Most people don't, but you do. I remember that one time where I was laughing at you. I was like, chill. You're like the girlfriend, man, that just keeps going back every time. Dude, he's just a bad guy. Like, you know he doesn't deserve you. But every time he calls, you're like, you know what? Maybe he's changed. No, chill. Only you still believe that Conor's coming back. He doesn't go to the White House, it's done. Because here's the deal. Love it, hate it, love him or hate him. The White House card is going to be the biggest card we've ever had. But it can only be the biggest card that you will ever see if Conor McGregor is on the card. Am I wrong to say that?
No.
It can be the biggest. It'll be a stacked card. It'll be an amazing card. But the only way it's the biggest card that we've ever seen is if Conor McGregor.
The White House card gained an unexpected challenger when Manny Pacquiao stepped forward with a bold pitch. He wants a boxing match against Conor McGregor on the historic stage. More than just a challenge, Pacquiao's motivation is rooted in loyalty to his friend, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and a desire to make McGregor prove himself. This direct call-out from a boxing icon transforms the speculation from MMA-centric to a multi-sport collision, injecting a potent mix of personal rivalry and cross-discipline intrigue, making the card feel like a rapidly unfolding, unpredictable spectacle. Chael Sonnen, ever the realist, delivers a dose of hard truth, admitting it's very hard to believe anyone but Conor McGregor will get the White House opportunity. However, he quickly pivots to a brutal assessment. We don't need Conor to win. We're not even expecting him to win. Sonnen warns that stacking McGregor against the wrong opponent could turn the entire event into a farce, exposing the uncomfortable reality that this card isn't about fair competition, but about pure spectacle and star power, even if it means acknowledging a likely defeat. Sonnen further compounds the grim reality, highlighting the extreme risk of McGregor's potential return. We have never returned somebody after a 4-year break and put him in a 5-round atmosphere. This unprecedented scenario, a beyond silly situation in Sonnen's words, underscores the unique and almost reckless nature of the White House card. It's a stark reminder that McGregor's return, if it happens, will defy all conventional combat sports wisdom, pushing boundaries to an extent never before seen, gambling with his legacy on an unimaginable stage. Amidst the uncertainty surrounding McGregor, Michael Chandler maintains unwavering professionalism. He states unequivocally that any delay or doubt has less to do with me, and probably more to do with him in his situation. Chandler, who declares himself the most reliable, most professional man in mixed martial arts, is ready. He shows up, signs the dotted line, and does the work, placing the onus entirely on McGregor to navigate his complex hurdles. This quiet confidence starkly contrasts with the chaos, presenting Chandler as the dependable anchor in a sea of speculation. Perhaps the most significant, yet understated revelation is Michael Chandler's absolute guarantee: I will be on the White House card on June 14th. This isn't conditional, it's a solid commitment, whether McGregor materializes or not. This detail changes the entire narrative. While the world speculates on McGregor's involvement, Chandler has secured his place in history, ensuring the White House card will proceed with or without the sport's biggest name. It underscores the monumental nature of the event itself, transcending any single fighter's participation. Chandler's excitement is palpable as he envisions the historic moment, walking out from the Oval Office in front of tens of thousands for America's 250th anniversary. He describes it as an insane and unique experience, a one-of-one type of event that will never happen again. This isn't just a fight, it's a cultural phenomenon, a monumental convergence of sports and national history. Chandler sees beyond the opponent, focusing on the sheer magnitude and singularity of competing on such an unprecedented and hallowed stage, forever etching his name in annals. The unprecedented venue presents a unique challenge for Chandler, who is already laying the foundation of a training camp while simultaneously laying the foundation of the visualization of what this fight will truly look like. The problem, as he admits, is that we don't know what the heck it's going to look like. It's going to be a brand new venue. This requires an almost imaginative preparation, training for an experience unlike any other, where the physical demands are matched only by the psychological hurdle of competing in an unknown historic environment. Daniel Cormier weighs in on the perennial next Conor McGregor debate, making it clear that comparing anyone to McGregor's level of stardom is unfair. He believes nobody will ever reach that level. However, Cormier points to Ilia Topuria as the closest parallel, not in fame, but in living up to immense initial hype. Topuria, Cormier notes, has lived up to the hype and the expectation at a level that was thrust on him from the moment he got to the UFC, suggesting a rare, successful navigation of intense pressure, mirroring McGregor's early trajectory. The combined voices of Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen deliver a harsh ultimatum. If Conor McGregor skips the White House card, his 5-year-long comeback narrative becomes empty. McGregor has pretended that he's coming back for 5 years, and this unprecedented stage is his moment of truth. If he ducks it, the aura of his comeback risks slipping from hype to doubt, leaving fans and fighters alike questioning whether the legend is still serious, or if the endless teasing has finally reached its breaking point, becoming nothing but a distant echo. Sonnen, with brutal finality, declares, "He doesn't go to the White House. It's done." He further asserts that if McGregor fails to appear, his continued promises of a return in November or next January will be the final ruse. This isn't just a prediction, it's a damning indictment of McGregor's protracted absence and speculative returns. The White House card therefore isn't just a fight, it's a crucible for McGregor's entire post-injury narrative, a moment that will either validate years of teasing or expose a grand illusion. The true impact of McGregor's absence is underscored by Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen's bold claim the White House card is going to be the biggest card we've ever had, but it can only be the biggest card that you will ever see if Conor McGregor is on the card. This statement dramatically raises the stakes, framing McGregor's participation as the single determining factor between a stacked card and the biggest card that we've ever seen. His presence elevates it from historic to legendary, cementing his unmatched draw in combat sports. Adding to the melee of potential opponents, Dan Hooker throws out his own suggestion for McGregor's next opponent, hinting that the White House card could be the perfect stage for someone ready to match Conor's intensity. Citing the context of Paddy Pimblett's rise, Hooker emphasizes McGregor's unpredictability and relentless mental game. He believes the right opponent isn't just about skill, but about someone who can handle the immense hype, the chaos, and the psychological warfare that comes with facing McGregor in such a high-profile, one-of-a-kind setting. Ariel Helwani, cutting through the noise, outlines how the White House card might actually take shape. Acknowledging McGregor's nearly 5-year absence severely limits the UFC's options for a financially and fan-sensical comeback. Helwani confirms Michael Chandler remains the top choice if McGregor steps in, but also suggests a fight with Paddy Pimblett could realistically happen. This analysis grounds the wild speculation in practical matchmaking, highlighting the tightrope walk between dream matchups and the logistical realities of a superstar's long-awaited return. Helwani then maps out other potential matchups to fill the historic card, suggesting Gaeke versus Ilia Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan likely needing a different opponent, all while stressing that the plans are incredibly fluid and could twist and turn in countless ways. This reinforces the monumental task of constructing such an unprecedented event. The White House card is not a done deal, it's a constantly evolving puzzle, with every piece of speculation adding to the mounting pressure and anticipation, promising a truly unpredictable final lineup. The White House card stands as a monumental collision course of ambition, legacy, and raw political intrigue. Whether Conor McGregor truly steps into this unprecedented spotlight will define not only his career, but potentially reshape the very future of combat sports itself. The world holds its breath, waiting to see if this historic event is destiny's undeniable call, or merely the final, most elaborate chapter in the enigmatic saga of the Notorious. The answer will reverberate through history, far beyond the confines of any octagon.